Hello, this is the NHL Houston YouTube channel, and today I'm going to talk about news that was revealed a couple days ago, and it is that the new owner of the Houston Rockets, Tilman Fertitta, the CEO of Landry's, the chairman, regent, board director of University of Houston, the star of a reality show called Billion Dollar Buyer, and now the owner of the Houston Rockets is interested in bringing an NHL franchise to Houston. You heard me there, and I will link the article down in the description down below. And I think this is a good idea. I think Houston is ready for an NHL team, and Houston has the rich hockey history with the Houston Huskies / Skippers, the Houston Apollos, the WHA Houston Aeros, the Houston Apollos again, and the IHL / AHL Houston Aeros. And in the 70s, Gordie Howe and his two sons, Mark and Marty Howe, won the Avco Cup back-to-back. And in the WHA Houston Aeros were one of the WHA's most successful franchises, and they tried to go in the NHL in the WHA NHL merger, but it didn't happen. But instead the Hartford Whalers went instead of the Houston Aeros. Then in 1994 was the IHL / AHL Houston Aeros. The former Houston Rockets owner Leslie Alexander did try to buy the Edmonton Oilers back in the late 90s, and nothing happened. Les Alexander has had NHL interest in the past, and Rocket CEO said Tad Brown said the deals weren't right at the time. And with Tilman, they said they'll be aggressive, and that's his nature, and I think definitely the opportunities for Houston are open. You have the Central Division, which has 7 teams right now, and they could use one more team to balance out the conferences, because this year you had the Vegas Golden Knights, who took that empty slot in the Pacific Division, and now the Pacific Division has 8 teams and the Central has 7. I know Seattle is talked about as a possibility for an NHL franchise, but they have the arena thing, and I don't know. Houston has the better advantage over Seattle because Houston has the arena, and they need to look at a team for the Central Division. I know Kansas City has been brought up, but an owner hasn't stepped up. Would Fertitta being interested in bringing the NHL to Houston, it fills the void to have a team in Houston. Houston, like NHL and Houston, would create a good rivalry with the Dallas Stars. You already have the MLB Houston Astros, the NFL Houston Texans, and the NBA Houston Rockets, and the MLS Houston Dynamo. And really, NHL and Houston would give the city all 4 major sports teams, plus the MLS, and it would pretty much, Houston would be a good city in what the NHL would need. It has a good population, the demographics are good for the NHL, and the arena is good for NHL. Toyota Center holds 17,800 for hockey, and basketball holds 18,000 something. So the Toyota Center is suitable for both NBA and NHL, and I think I remember reading when they built Toyota Center, I think Les Alexander wanted to build it to lure an NHL team, and the Arrow, because pretty much in Arrow's games, the lower bowl was the lower section was only open and the top two sections were tarped off. So pretty much like, because it was minor league and stuff, and the Arrows were in the top 10 in attendance and stuff, and pretty much like, I mean, Houston is a city that could work. I know some people will complain it's a southern city, but it actually has a rich hockey history. The Arrows were successful, and I could see Houston would be the city I think that would make the most perfect sense. I know Quebec is another front runner, but but they're an Eastern Conference team, but Quebec would have to rely on relocation than expansion. The only way Quebec, I mean, for Houston again, NHL team, I think like the Coyotes are always a top candidate to relocate, and I think if they can't get a new arena in Arizona, I think they could relocate to Houston. And another possibility for Houston to get a team, as I said, the expansion, which they could go for to be the 32nd NHL team, and the conferences would be all balanced out. Each division in each conference would all have 8 teams in each division, which 16 per conference, so it would be good for both conferences. I know Seattle was also another talked about one, and they want to talk about renovating Key Arena, but I don't know on how that's going to end up. And with it, that, and pretty much like if you had to like move someone from the Pacific Division into the Central Division, it wouldn't make sense. Like geographically makes sense. I mean, Houston would make perfect sense for the Central Division because it would be Central Time Zone and it would work perfectly with the division. I mean, for example, like even like you could move the Carolina Hurricanes is another possible candidate for relocation, and like you could move the Hurricanes to Houston and then give the expansion to Quebec, or you could move like the Coyotes to Houston, and then maybe it could pave way for the Seattle expansion, or you could expand to Houston, and then I guess Seattle and Quebec would have to rely on a team to move. And a dark horse for relocation is if Calgary can't get their arena situation together, like if Calgary can't get a new arena in Calgary, I think the Flames could, like the Flames to Houston is a possibility. I mean, the Islanders always get brought up in relocation, like they're having arena problems and they have low attendance and they want to have an arena in Belmont. They want to build a new arena in Belmont. They want out of Barclays in Brooklyn. So the best ways I could see Houston getting a team is A, expansion for the 32nd NHL franchise, or B, relocation, with it being with Arizona or Carolina to Houston, or if Calgary can't get a new arena. So pretty much like Houston has probably a lot of good options to get an NHL team. Like, and plus the Central Division is in need of another team. And follow us on Twitter at NHL Houston, at CrazyTech00, at Hockey to Houston, and also like us on Facebook, NHL Houston, and follow us on Instagram at NHL Houston and bring_NHL_2_Houston, and also sign the petition, which I'll link in the description down below. Catch you guys next time. Bye.